If grief can be a doorway to love, then let us all weep for a world we are breaking apart, so we can love it back to wholeness again. Robin Wall Kimmerer. Francis Weller says, "We are living in turbulent times on this beautiful planet. All pretense of immunity is collapsing as we realize how completely entangled our lives are with one another, with kelp beds and calving glaciers, with wildfires and rising sea levels, with refugees and the anxious dreams of young people everywhere. The disequilibrium shaking the world feels like a continual tremor along the fault lines of our psychic lives." These turkeys live by my house. I have a regular walk to my sit spot. And on this day, when I took this video, I decided to wander a different way. I found these grapevines, and I kept hearing the turkeys bouncing. This one was in the tree, gobbling up wild grapes. And if you look here, you can see this wild turkey jumping up and down. After harvesting a while, I found this feather. This was the day after the collapse class.
We'll get some more like flat rocks.
Oh, those are the stairs?
Yeah. We want to try and make better stairs with like more support and stuff.
Improving the staircase.
Wow, I love this den you made. I mean, this is an epic fort. Look at how those branches are woven.
That's Robin. The branches are
We all did it
camouflage.
together. Yeah. And this doorway is super cool. Some decoration.
Even our basic trust in the future has been shaken as we awaken to the emerging climate crisis and erosion of the social fabric. As a result, we now face a vital truth. We are entering a rough initiation. Francis Weller. Most afternoons that I have my son, we go for these long walks along the river, through the woods where you just saw his fort that he and his friend built, and here on this place where we got to watch the turkeys cross the stream. There's a white turkey in this flock. We know them pretty well now. We always look for them, and we know where they roost at night. In the woods here, we've seen bears and bobcats. Luckily, we've missed the lions. John catches snakes in the summer and the warm weather, and I try not to scream. This slow way of living has kept us healthy, I think. To me, this is the definition of ecopsychology. For Samhain, or Halloween, this year, I traveled to my ancestral clan lands in Scotland, at least some of them. I'm treating this trip as a type of initiation, and according to Weller, initiation was an act of sacrifice on behalf of the greater community into which the initiate was brought and to which he or she now holds allegiance. They were being ready to step into their role of maintaining the vitality and well-being of the village, the clan, the watershed, the ancestors, and the continuum of generations to come. Kimmerer talks about the prophecy of the seventh fire, which describes a time when people will face a choice between two paths, one green and lush, and the other burnt and black. The prophecy also says that to choose the green path, people must first return to the teachings of their ancestors, including their language, ceremonies, and spiritual ways. They're responsible for rekindling the sacred fire and rebirthing a nation. I often wonder how to gather the ways of my ancestors, but I found my way through plants. Kimmerer also says that if plants are our teachers, what are they teaching us and how can we be better students? These are among the responsibilities of humans. Traditional plant knowledge is the product of this orientation to humility, to careful attention to being a student of plants. I often say that the songs that I write are given to me by the plants and the waters. It brings me back to this quote from the beginning of our class, that the foundations of deep ecology are the basic intuitions and experiencing of ourselves and nature with comprised to ecological consciousness. It also reminds me of the Rozak quote that once upon a time all psychology was ecopsychology. No special word was needed. The oldest healers in the world, the people our society once called witch doctors, knew no other way to heal than to work with within the context of the environmental reciprocity. So where does this leave us now? I find myself on the precipice of a mixture of great joy at connection with the land and the soul of the world, while also experiencing the greatest grief I can imagine. Throughout this class and my journey in Scotland, I've shed tears and laughed wholeheartedly. When I think about what we may all be about to experience together as humans and non-humans alike, I feel a mixture of grief and nausea and anger, pain, hope. But I'm reminded of this poem I wrote when my grandfather died. Grief sets in like a wave. It's poetic, really. You feel the swell of pain building, the trembling to the crest, and then capsize, heave, tumult, sand everywhere. So disorienting she can be, that sweet grief mother. But I trust her. I trust that she has a message for me amidst the chaos and pain and sorrow. Grief is one of my greatest teachers. Widow of death, midwife of souls, asking us to be born anew. Washed clean by the tumult, twisting and falling. Grief is a wave. She comes, she pounds, she softens, she recedes. She's soft like that, leaving you wondering when she will return, maybe, but carrying you through each time And when you lean in, she can show you the sea.